to record. I didn't even record the beginning. But welcome to the weekly Team Perseverance team call. Today is July 20th. I'm glad to be back. I know last week I just want to apologize. We had some technical difficulties that, I guess I didn't set up everything as I should have for Shanna. We ran into some issues. Luckily, we had a free conference calling system that I used months back that we were able to figure out. But again, I want to thank Shanna for that. I know it wasn't easy, and sorry, guys, for the delay. So, hello, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dave Atkins. I'm the founding coach of Team Perseverance and your upline Star Diamond coach. Every week on the Sunday night at 8:30, for those of you that are new coaches, we come together as a team. We come together as a team to get together, to go over a training topic, to maybe have a guest speaker like we have tonight, go over news and announcements and what's going on with the pulse of Team Perseverance each and every week. You will see me the majority of the weeks, but you will see other diamonds like you did last week with Shanna on social media and Facebook hosting calls because of stuff that they learn that they may know that I may not know, or things that you can learn from them, because I'm always learning from everybody and I learn from all of you. So I'm married to my wife, Kristen Atkins. I know there's a lot of new people on here. She is also a coach. She's a school teacher. I work full-time with the state police, but my passion is health and fitness. My passion is this team. My passion is helping people achieve their health and fitness goals. So with that, I just love leading from the front and leading all of you to help you achieve your whys as well. So with that, I'm going to get into a couple of announcements, some very, very, very important announcements. And please mute your line. If I hear some background noise, just please mute your line if you're on the call. First and foremost, the big one is regarding, I'm just muting some people's lines that are still there. I'm getting background noise from. Regarding Summit and the hotels. For those of you that are registered for Summit in 2015, on July 25th, guys, this is really important. On July 25th, they are opening registration up for the Hampton Inn and Suite, okay? If you go to CoachSummit2015 for 2015.com, CoachSummit2015.com, and you go in there under lodging, you can search. This is the last hotel that is available within a 1 to 5 minute walk from the convention center. And it's the last hotel that of the 4 that are close that there's a date where we as a team can get on. So this is the thing. I can't help you much more than that. On July 25th, we'll put a reminder up, but you are responsible for going through the link, and you can get the information at Coach Summit or CoachSummit2015.com or calling to reserve your room. So I'm in the trenches with you. I'm going to be calling to reserve my room as well. If you have not registered for Summit, get on the waiting list. It's sold out already. It's sold out of 15,000 people. For those that were there last time, you guys know Summit is a game changer. There's people that were there that couldn't afford it. There's people there. We had to use our charge cards. But watch where they go with their business in this year or in the next couple of months. Our guest speaker tonight went diamond. She has 29 Success Club points. I need to say anything more. You have to get to Summit. It's in June. Check it out at CoachSummit2015.com. So that's the first announcement, July 25th. Second, the first Monday of every month, and Jen Holman, one of our diamonds, hosted it last time, is our Blitz Monday. Our Blitz Monday is for everybody to invite 10 people, getting out of your comfort zone, invite, and get off 10 invites, and we just started doing it on the coach page. It was a huge success. So what I'd like to do on the heels of knowing that this Wednesday, guys, and I posted it in the coaches page, and some of you can see I posted it on my wall, on my Facebook wall. Feel free to go look at the way I posted it, is our first ever Team Perseverance opportunity webinar for people that may be interested in the business. Now, this is the thing. This really isn't for new coaches. You're more than welcome to come on. This is for us to invite people that may be interested in the business or health and fitness that aren't even challengers yet. They're simply customers that aren't challengers yet. Guys, just mute your lines again, please. Just double check that you're muted. Hold on, I'm going to see. I'm getting background noise. I'm just going to mute.
Right now, it's just like announcements of upcoming.
Who is it here? Oh, there's one. There it is. Got it. Sorry, guys. So the opportunity webinar is really not, it's for prospects. So I know some of you are like, oh my God, I don't have anybody. I could barely get challenges. I don't want to just invite somebody to be a coach. I thought Team Perseverance is about helping people get results first, and then we invite them to be coaches. So I can tell you this, we are 100% right. 72% of diamonds in this company were customers first. And your best coaches are those that have success with programs first as customers. But this is the thing. We are at a point now that we are missing people that may like to use a little extra money. Maybe some stay-at-home dads or stay-at-home moms or some people that are working, like some extra money that are into health and fitness that I think we're missing that niche. Actually, I know we're missing that niche from going to Summit, talking to other leaders in the company, and realizing we need to be hosting an opportunity webinar. What's an easy way to do it? Go to the Facebook event link, go right to the Facebook event link, click on invite, and just invite any of your friends, anybody and everybody you think that may be interested. They'll just get an invite, like a notification. You don't need to send a step one. That's an informal way, but I can tell you right now, I think we have 100 and something people invited. Guys, we can have a lot more than that. Just now, if everybody did 10 invites, we'd be well over 300. So what I'm having is tomorrow, and I'm going to post a video, is everybody to invite 5 people for the opportunity webinar on Wednesday night. It's going to be a Blitz Monday. This is something I just thought of when Kristen and I just got back from vacation. I know the Blitz first Monday of every month is for invite for challengers, but what the heck? Let's tomorrow, guys, get out of your comfort zone, invite 5 people, go to the Facebook event link. It's on the coaches page. Post it on your Facebook wall. Something I did is I promoted it. If you actually click on your name on Facebook and you put a post up, below the post you could hit promote, and it was $6.99, and I promoted it that it will stay high on people's news feeds and stay there longer so more people will see it. Feel free to take the wording I used, make it your own. Don't click share on my post because everybody's going to see it comes back to me. Be yourself. Be your brand. Be who you are, and post about that more than once, maybe twice, maybe once tonight, again maybe on tomorrow night or Tuesday morning. Again, post about that. But tomorrow, it's about the Blitz for inviting for Wednesday night. I'd love to get a good turnout for us, okay? Next, challenge groups going into week 2. So remember, guys, it's all about motivation this week. As many of you know, it's motivational images and pictures. So please make sure you're doing that. And captains, please make sure that you are doing your posts and your videos to let everybody know that this week is all about motivation. Some reminders, again, like I just kind of went over them quickly because we just started doing these changes. The first Monday of every month is always going to be Blitz Day to invite for new challengers, okay? The reason we do it the first Monday is because the third Monday of every month is when we will start our new challenge group for that month. There will be no more dates, okay? So just look at the calendar. Whatever the third Monday is of that month, that's when the challenge group will start, okay? Next is the third Wednesday of every month will be when we start the opportunity webinar. This week is a little off. It's not the third Wednesday because Kristen and I were away. So, but the third Wednesday of every month. And also, last but not least, is 30-day coach boot camps will also start on the first Monday of every month, the same time when we do the Blitz, okay? It'll be the same time. Sorry, guys, I'm just muting people again. We're just more people, that's great. I want you guys to hear everything I'm saying. Okay, with that, that's all the announcements. I'm gonna get right into some recognition. Remember that every Sunday, I am going to update the cover photo of our Coaches of Team Perseverance page. So I am simply going off of what the July Success Club Earners doc is. So if you're in the Coaches page and you hit Success Club, meaning you hit 5 points, click on the Files tab of the Coaches page. There's a July Success Club Earners doc. Go in there, click on Edit, and add your name with the amount of points. It's a minimum of 5. Then every Sunday, I will update the photo. I'm not going to do it every day or every other day when you add your names, because I have to retype out the photo. It's a little bit of a pain to get it to work with this website I use. So I'm going to do it once a week, all right, to get us up and recognize those that are paying it forward. And you should stand out and be at the top of the page, because your efforts and your work should be rewarded and recognized, okay? With that, I'm going to get right into recognition. And like we always do, I'm going to get right into coaches that have 100 team volume points or more in the group, in our team. So going right down the list, we have Nicole Fiore at 180. We have Rhonda McKierney at 180. We have Michael Rudd at 185. Jenny Hall at 177. Victoria Cavallo at 180. We have Crystal Beacon at 112. Mitch Lusk at 142. Tara McGinty at 160. My second business center at 155. Janet Finnegan at 135. Michelle Rizzo at 149. Danielle Zito at 180. Michelle Berkey at 127. Steve McGrady at 110. Jennifer Thompson at 142. Great job, guys. These are all in the 100 club for Team Perseverance. Victoria Laguda, I always mess your name up, Vicky. 100. Jeff Flanagan at 104. Kirsten Varner at 180, and Jennifer Brown at 180. Great job, everybody in the 100 club. In the 200 club, I have Jean-Marie Cregan at 275, Nancy Murillo at 277, Liz Mullenbrook at 270. Great job, guys. Alyssa Ferrara at 225, Amanda Landsman, 285. Who else do we have? Sharice Nolson at 205. Gina Strecco at 235. Anybody else? Great job, guys, in the 200 club. In the 300 club, I have Jen Holman at 373. Michelle Della Sala, our guest speaker, at 327. Samantha Healy at 315. Brian Laubscher at 357. Who else do we have? Great week, guys. Teresa May at 340. Kristen Smalls at 342. Maria Peterson, I see her on the call, 375. Good job, Maria. We have Denise Brobson at 320. Great job, Denise. That is it for the 300 club. And for the 400 club, and our winner this week is Shana Carlucci, one of our diamonds, at 430 team volume points. So Shana, great job with that. And you're the leader of the team this week with 430 team volume points. And to keep myself accountable, so you guys, last week my volume was 547 for the week. So with that, tonight is about two topics, okay? The first one I want to go over, and I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet to the point, is the main reasons why we run our challenge groups for 30 days, okay? A lot of questions have come up. I've answered this with people many times, and I want to go through the main reasons why we do what we do with our coaches while we run our challenge group for 30 days, okay? First and foremost, guys, I want you to understand that I've been running the challenge groups myself. As many of you know, this is my 4th year as a coach. So I've done them as 60 days, the length of a program. I've done them at 90 days for P90X. I've run them without people required to drink Shakeology. I've done them in all different ways. And I can tell you that the success that I had doesn't even compare to the success that we're having by running them on 30 days, okay? So these are some of the points. Number one, why we require certain things that we require in the 30-day challenge groups. Number one is that we require Shakeology to be in the groups. Now, why do we do that? Because this is the thing. If we want people to have the best success, we all know that people struggle with their nutrition most. Hands down, people think they can out-exercise their diet, and they can't. And so many times we hear people fall off the wagon. It's usually not the workouts. It's your nutrition. I could tell you this past week on vacation, it was very easy to eat a ton of food. That's where people slip away. Well, being able to replace Shakeology with one meal a day, we know that one meal a day, that people are getting that dense dose of daily nutrition, that is a game changer, guys. The results of people that are drinking Shakeology are through the roof compared to the people that aren't. It takes the guesswork out, and then they're filling their body with something that's very, very healthy. So for me, I feel that if we don't offer people Shakeology, we're setting them up for failure. You're basically saying, yeah, we'll let you do the workouts, but don't worry about your diet. And it doesn't work that way. So therefore, we want people to have the best possible results, so we require Shakeology, okay? That's the number one reason why we require it, because we want people to have the best success in their challenge groups. And also, as many of you know, this business, that product is the one residual product that we have, meaning people on Home Direct, each and every month they get it, you get residual income, okay? And there's a lot of money to be made in Shakeology with hitting, when you hit Success Club, you get free trips, getting challengers. You want to be on Shakeology, because I'll tell you right now, if you're not on Shakeology, your people aren't going to be on Shakeology. And also the thing is that this is the one product that's going to help you grow your business. So you have to be on it, because a coach will not be successful unless they're on Shakeology Home Direct. They won't. You can't share something with somebody and tell them how great Shakeology is, and then they ask you, what flavor are you drinking? And you're not drinking it. So it just won't work. If you want to be successful, you got to be on it. We require it. And I've seen through groups when I've run them that people didn't use it, the success was not even as close. Next, the reason we do 30 days is because, like I said, I've done 60 days and I've done 90 days. And many times what happens is usually around week 6 or 7, if you do 60 days, people tend to fall off the wagon. They tend to disappear. Life gets in the way. If we go 90 days, forget it. I've run them for 90 and I barely have people make it to the end. 60 days, it was getting real tough at the 6th or 7th week to go to 60 days. Now I get it. No program really is 30 days unless you're doing Asylum. I get it. So many times there's support coaches, new coaches coming in, and they're just getting to beta, for example, for T25. That's fine, okay? We run them for 30 days because people are very fired up still at 30 days. Results are starting to kick in. They're worried about that losing the challenge group, that they don't want it to end, and that creates leverage for you, okay? It creates leverage because come 6 or 7 weeks, if we did it for 60 days, and many of you know that we want to invite them to come on and be part of our challenge groups and be part of the team, it's much easier for them to say no because they're already disappeared by that point, okay? So that's why they're 30 days. We want to invite people when they're still fired up and engaged, okay? One of the last points I'm going to say is that we are in the business of working smarter, not harder. And in this business, that's by you building a team of coaches, a team of coaches. Your income for the newer coaches, so you guys understand, yes, you make 25% off of everything that you sell. So if you sell somebody Shakeology, yes, you can make $30 commission, okay? But the problem is if you want to do $1,000 to $2,000 a week, just say $1,000 a week. You want to make $1,000 a week? You are not going to sell $4,000 in Beachbody products. It's next to impossible, all right? That's about working harder, not smarter. Working smarter is building a team of coaches and moving up in rank because as many of you know, once you make Emerald Coach or higher, you make something called the Team Cycle Bonus. And to keep it simple is you make money off of what the coaches below you do in terms of volume, okay? And that's where you're working smarter and not harder. That's where you may only have one Shakeology sale in that week, or you may have nothing in that week, but you can make $1,000 in Team Cycle Bonus. I can tell you it can happen, and a lot more than that. And that happens by building your team, okay? So 30 days in the challenge groups not only puts the customer in the best position to continue because they're excited, they're getting results, but also puts you in the best position to start building coaches and building your team. If we wait 60 days or longer, you may miss them entirely because they become disengaged and you never even got the chance for them to come into our coach page if we got them on 30 days and let the belief process begin. What's the belief process? Guys, we have coaches probably on this call right now, I can tell you this, that said, I'm not working the business. I just want to be a challenge. I just want to be in the challenge groups. I'll be a support coach is what we call it. It's a term we use loosely. I just want to be a support coach. I don't want to work the business, but I can't lose this 30 days. And this is what has happened. And I know a couple of coaches that this has happened to, actually quite a few. We plug them in the Coaches of Team Perseverance page. Okay, they're a new coach. They start seeing our cover photo, People Earning Success Club. They start seeing rank advancement. They start seeing somebody saying, I made $100 this week. And what's happening internally with them is they start saying, wow, what is this? How are these people making money? What's all this rank advancement about? And usually by then, they're about 7 weeks into their challenge group, and they're getting better results. And when they're getting better results, naturally, people are going to be like, hey, what are you doing? You look great. And they're naturally going to want to talk about it. It's a natural process. It's not forced. And they're going to say, oh, I'm doing T25. And so many times people then realize that, wow, if that person that was just in my challenge group got 2 people to be in the next challenge group, or if that person just made $100, I know that person, or what is this Success Club about? What are these trips about? What is all this recognition? The internal belief starts happening. And the thing is that we don't mind if people come in as support coaches or discount coaches where they just want the discount Shakeology or they just want to be in a challenge group. Fine. We don't need to do anything. We plug them in the coaches page and we let our team's momentum, we let our team's belief, we let our team's engagement, let their own belief grow within themselves. And so many times they then start slowly getting involved with the coaching business. Okay? Guys, if you're letting your challengers go over 30 days, I'm letting you know that you are fooling yourself with this business. If you are uncomfortable to tell somebody, you know what, I'm putting you in the generic Team Perseverance Challenge group, you know what, then you're not going to be building your business. You're going to stay in the same place, okay? And also, if you're doing that on your own, you're going to affect the integrity of the team. Kristen and I have an exit video we put together. The script I put together on how to invite your challengers to become coaches talks about there are 2 options, okay? So if you're dragging people on, it's not going to help your business grow. It may be hard at first. If you want to put them in your own generic group, go for it. But if you want to build this business, I'm telling you from the success I had and me doing it 1,000 different ways and the team growing, 30 days is the cutoff. It's the best time for excitement. It's the best leverage you have. And it's the best time to do it and let the coaches page build the belief within everybody else, okay? That's all I have for those points, just to explain it, because it's come up a couple times before. I just want to see, does anybody have any questions on that, on the 30 days, anything related to it, Shakeology? If you do, there's a lot of people on here. Can you unmute your line or just raise your hand if anybody? Anybody. Nobody. Let me just scroll through here and make sure. Guys, any questions with that? Just raise your hand. I don't think so. I'll just check the people that dialed in. Anybody that dialed in? No questions? Okay. All right, then great. I'm going to get into the second part of our call, which I'm really, really excited about. For those of you guys that don't know, Michelle Carlucci, Michelle Della Sala Carlucci, Michelle Carlucci Della Sala, whatever you want to see it. She is my sister-in-law. I'm really, really excited because I think she, right now, I forget how many coaches she's sponsored. I think upwards of 20. She has 29 Success Club points right now. She is somebody that has been doing, I'm going to let her tell her story, but you guys are going to learn a lot. I always say success leaves clues, okay? So here is a mom with 2 little kids that's a full-time teacher that got rid of her excuses, been working her ass off, I'm going to be honest with that, and is now a Diamond coach, is one of the few leaders on our team. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Michelle, our newest Diamond coach. So Michelle, can you unmute the line and welcome Michelle. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Della Sala, and I am a Diamond coach. I am married to my husband, Mike, who is also a coach. We've been married for 8 years. I am 33 years old, and we have 2 children. Alexa is 4, and Michael is 2. As David mentioned, he is my brother-in-law. Kristen and Shanna Carlucci are my sister-in-laws. So this is a family effort. I was a only discount coach. That's how I started. And my first day, that changed. So I'm going to kind of go through a little bit of how I got started first with Beachbody and then go on where my journey started. I've been a coach since October, and it's been one hell of a ride with many, many lows and many highs. And as Dave mentions it, a lot of hills and valleys throughout everything. But it's been amazing. So I first started with Beachbody in November of 2012 in a small challenge group of just my family members. David and Kristen really wanted to reach out to all of us and to help us. So we did a family challenge group. Failure. Absolute failure. I did pump with my husband, and literally I think within like a week I was, oh, I'm tired, I'm sick, excuse after excuse after excuse. Didn't work. So we stopped. In January, I basically hit bottom with how I was feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. I was the heaviest that I have ever been. And the excuse of, oh, you just had a baby, after my son was 1, wasn't going to work anymore. I didn't feel right. I didn't feel good about myself. My husband and I were always fighting because I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel like a good mom. I had no energy. So I knew that something had to change for myself. So my husband and I decided that in February of 2013, we were going to change that, and we were going to do some Beachbody products. We were kind of on the fence about Shakeology because financially, as many of you said, oh, we can't afford it, we can't afford it. We started with Combat, and we went into P90X, and then P90X2. And within 6 months, we lost 30 pounds and 30 plus inches. So we were feeling amazing as of last summer 2013. And then we started with Shakeology, and it completely just skyrocketed. We started losing more weight, and we felt better. So over the summer, Kristen and David would kind of buzz a little bit and say, you should become a discount coach. Nope, didn't want to hear it. Wouldn't even look at them. So when Dave says that family is your worst critics, absolutely, because I was one of them. Horrible. But towards the end of the summer, my sister-in-law Shannon and I were talking, and Kristen and David were talking to her about becoming a coach. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for her. So I was kind of buzzing in her ear as well for a month and a half. So come the end of September, I talked it up so much that she was like, yeah. And I'm like, why not me? I'm talking it up to her. Why not me? So I listened to my own advice, and I joined with her. So I joined as of October 1st as a coach. My first day as a coach, my first night actually, I was so excited because the challenge group was going to start. So I decided to put my first post up inviting people into my challenge group. And my second day as a coach, I got my first challenger, and then 5 days later, I got my second. I had such a rush of emotion that the idea of, hey, I'll just be a discount support coach went completely out the window. It was gone. So I hit Success Club 5 my first month, which was awesome. My husband was a little bit skeptical of everything. He wasn't 100% supportive in the beginning. He kind of was like, yeah, whatever, do what you want, that's fine. But I vowed to myself and to him that I was going to make something of this, and I knew that I could because I felt it within the first month. I hit Success Club 5 my first 4 consecutive months as a coach. So because I hit it the first 3 consecutive months, I received Success Starters, which is the free ticket to Summit. And I was like, oh yeah, I got it, great. I'm not going, but I got it. That's awesome. I felt good about myself. I became Emerald in November 13th. So a month and a half of coaching, I hit Emerald, which was awesome. I mean, it made me feel great. And I was stuck at Emerald for a really long time. I was loving being a coach, but my husband, not so much. And there were various reasons, which I'll get into. I was on Facebook 24/7. I didn't know how to manage having a full-time job as a teacher, as a mom, and being a Beachbody coach, because I was so excited to get people to respond and this and that, that I let it consume me, which is something that I'm going to tell you not to do. He was getting frustrated. He felt neglected. And I knew that there was something wrong, so I had to do something. But I wanted to grow my business at the same time, and I didn't know what that something was. I didn't know what that balance was yet. In the beginning, November, to grow my business, I had a shake and share party at school with another teacher who was a coach, which was really successful. I got a couple challengers from that, with my sister-in-law, Shanna, who was literally my Beachbody butt buddy. We got a Beachbody table at a holiday shop at her daughter's local school, and then we did one at a holiday party at a hair salon, which was pretty successful. It was okay. But I needed more. So Dave suggested I do Coach Basics. Failure. Awful. I, again, didn't know how to manage my time. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't committed to it. Honestly, like, I would read other people's posts. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. I was a Coach Basics dropout, and my brother-in-law kicked me out. But I deserved it because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I wasn't ready. I needed to take a step back, and I did. I had a dinner with my husband, which David and Kristen had suggested way from the beginning, and we talked about what was going to work for us as a family to make this work and what was going to work for me. I needed help. I literally was going on Facebook on my messages and looking at who I needed to get back with and this and that. I wasn't organized. I was all over the place. So I said, you know what? I need to first organize myself and figure out how, organizing myself is going to help me work the business, being able to, get in touch with people. But I need to learn more about it. So then I decided that I was going to commit myself to another Coach Basics, and I rocked it this time. I actually read personal development because the first time I didn't. I read a little bit and then I stopped, but I found a book that I really enjoyed that really, really helped me, and it completely changed everything. Changed myself, changed my outlook on everything, and changed my business. I believe it was in January that I did that. So I had hit Success Club 5 from October through January. After I finished Coach Basics, Team Cup came. I knew so much. And since then, since February, I've hit Success Club 10 every month. And that's my goal now. Team Cup also helped me in February. It just pushed me. So you just need things to push you. I got 27 Success Club points for the Team Cup in February, which was awesome. I figured out what worked for me. The tools of Coach Basics gave me what I needed, and then I had to figure out what I was going to do with them to make and brand myself, which was really important. I started writing down my goals for myself, whether they were weekly goals or monthly goals. I said that on February, when I was in February, I said I was going to be diamond by August. So I made diamond now. So I beat my goal, which is amazing. Shanna became my accountability partner. These are all things that helped me as a Febby Rocket. And I would message each other every day, did personal development, invited this many people, made these new friends on Facebook. And it really helped us stay accountable, and it got me into a habit. And now I don't need to do that. I mean, I still share things, and then I have accountability groups and things like that, but it became a habit for me. Now came the question of Summit, because if I wasn't going to, I had registered for it because I got my free ticket. It didn't cost anything. But now I had to realize, am I really going to Summit? Dave always mentioned that it was a game changer. And I said, why? Why? And he's like, it is. You just have to go. I can't tell you why. You'll see. I didn't understand. But, I had different things on my plate. I'm a teacher. I had to take off of work. Could I leave my husband and my family and all this money? I'm doing this to make money, and I don't have money. What do I do? Well, I ended up going, and all I can say is, if you are contemplating going, go. If you are saying you're not going, go. Because when I got home from Summit, I pushed and pushed and pushed, and I learned what else I needed to do, and then I became Diamond. You have a completely different perspective It's amazing. It's inspirational. It's motivational. It's just make that promise to yourself to get there because you really, really, really need it. Summit made me realize that I wasn't stretching myself to my potential. And I'm just going to read a quote from John Maxwell that really stuck out to me. Stretch yourself. You will only reach your potential if you have the courage to push yourself outside your comfort zone and break out of the mindset of mediocrity. Give up your excuses and push forward. Be willing to face the tension that comes from stretching toward your potential. So Summit made me realize I had bigger goals that I needed. And one of those biggest goals was not only to continue to work on myself, but to be able to support my team. So that was one of the things that I'm working on now, is to keep on inviting, keep on being proof the product works, keep on doing my personal development. But I need to help build my team, give them the tools that I had to help them become successful. So that's my goal now, to build a strong team for them and for myself too. A couple of tips that I wanted to give to you guys is obviously the 3 vital behaviors, invite, be proof the product works, and your personal development. Find a book that you enjoy. If people are recommending books and you're reading them and you're bored, stop. Find something that you like that's going to help you, because not everyone, not every area that people need to work on is the same for everybody. It's not a one size fits all. Find something for yourself, but find it, because I can tell you that that's one of the things that made this all turn around for me. Write down your goals and write down a daily to-do list. I have it. I have my daily to-do list. Every morning when I get up before I work out, I check in with my groups. I make sure I add 3 to 4 friends every single day. I check in with my prospect list, and I comment and I like on those things so that, I'm interacting and I'm forming with them. And I do that for 2 weeks, and then I invite them. Check on the coach page daily. I follow up. I do like 3 to 4 follow-ups a day. This is all in a day, in a span of like 45 minutes in the morning. And I have it written down so that I can hold myself accountable for that. Find a system to keep you organized that works for you. I had a notebook, now I have a binder. And I know a lot of us learned about prospect lists on Facebook. They're great. I'm nuts. I didn't like it as much. So literally, I have 800 friends on Facebook right now. I wrote all of them down in a binder because that worked for me. And I literally take like 20 friends and form and comment and like for like 2 weeks, and then I invite them on like the Blitz day. And it's worked. It's not going to work for everybody, but it worked for me. Follow the process. Do not reinvent the wheel. Again, write down your goals, beat them, make new goals, build your team, work with your team, have an accountability partner. And it works. Use your resources. Whenever I run my challenge groups, I love the challenge group guides and the marketing tab back in the back office. It just keeps your challenge groups engaged and with questions and comments and things like that. And it makes you stand out to them, and then they want to talk to their friends and, oh, here, this person, you were so motivating for me, contact them. And it's been great. It's been an amazing ride. And my goal for next summit is to be 3-star. So I'm only going to get there if I grow my team. You are going to have people that don't want to work, and you can't make them work. But as David said, and many people have said, they watch, and some will come around. You just have to give them the tools and give them, what you have and what you know, and they'll follow.
All right, Michelle. So I wrote a couple of things down. That's great. And I'm going to open up for questions. So talk more specifically. How do you stay organized now? What are you doing? Because I'm sure there's other people who can lose that. How do you break down your binder? What are you doing for your prospects? Do you have different areas? What exactly do you do to stay organized?
Well, now, like I said, originally I started out literally just looking on Facebook at people who I messaged. That didn't work. I got a notebook, for like a month or two, that didn't work because I felt like I was all over the place. So I have a sectioned off binder. So one of my sections is for my friends or my prospects. Another section is for my follow-ups and people that I invite. And I literally write down their name, I write down the date that I invited them, and then I leave space to put where I am. Am I on step 1? Am I on step 2? I write down their goal. So I have everything there. In another section, I have my challenge groups. So who's in my challenge group for that month? I have another section for my coaches, and then I have another section for the coach calls and all my notes and notes from Summit and things like that. And it really helps because then I remember, oh, this person, let me, find their name. And I say, oh, this was their goal. This was, I have to reach back out to them in August, and I literally write everything down in there. And the idea, like I said, I liked the prospect list, the interest group list from Facebook. But what I found was I had like over the interest group list, and I literally only saw the top 10 on my news feed because those were the ones who were posting all the time. I was like, where's this person? I never reached out to them, and it just felt like I didn't see them because they didn't post pictures on Facebook, and that gives you a higher affinity, as you know. So I said, let me try this. So I wrote them, like I said, I wrote down all their names every single time I friend request somebody. Once they accept my friendship, I write down their name, and I literally have sections. Like I said, these 20 people I'm going to form and work on and comment and like and engage in conversation with for 2 weeks, and then I invite them no matter what. Some of them end up, because I've liked their posts more, then they end up interacting on my posts and they'll come to me. It happens. So you just got to get yourself out there. Yes, there are people on Blitz Day. I just look in my binder and say, boom, I'm sending out these 10 that I've never even talked to before.
Right.
So, but I know who they are. And, in my invite, when I private message them, it may be a person that I did volleyball with back in high school. I know you were an active person in high school. Like, what are you doing these days? I'm a Beachbody coach. Would you be interested in joining my group? Let me know. So just very basic in general. It's very uncomfortable, but you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
You brought up a good point, and something I recognize, and I'm sure many of you people on there, that if you're using the interest list, or even if you're not, you will notice that Facebook, the people that you comment and like on the most are the ones that you're going to see them the most in your news feed. And guys, flip it the other way around. If you're commenting and liking only on coaches' posts, okay, your news feed's only going to be seeing coaches' posts, and Facebook recognizes on people's posts who you're going to see. So make sure that you make a point, and Michelle just brought up a very good point, that when I scroll my newsfeed, which I try not to do a lot, I'm very against it because it's a time sucker, but I try to like and comment on as much as I can of people that are not coaches. Because if you're commenting and liking on people that are not coaches, then when you're posting about your challenge group or your exercise for the day, you're going to come up more likely on their newsfeed because Facebook's going to go, oh, Michelle Della Sala is talking to David Atkins. So when David Atkins goes on Facebook, let me start putting Michelle's post up there. So it's a little trick that make sure you're commenting and liking on other things besides just coaches. If you're just commenting and liking on coaches, it can hurt you. So Michelle, really what I'm gaining from this with you, and then I have one more question, is that you're doing the 3 vital behaviors. You're inviting and following up every day, and you're super organized with that, which is great. I mean, you're more organized, I think, in me than in some ways, which I think is phenomenal because I think so many people think they can be organized on their iPhone or just scroll their messenger app, which I think is a disaster just to follow up. I mean, I can tell you right now, I didn't get to update my stuff from being away, and I feel in disarray because I got to update my app that I use. So you're inviting, number one. Number two is you're proof the product works. And when you aren't drinking Shakeology, now you are drinking Shakeology. That has been a game changer. And the third is that now you're reading personal development. So I'd have to say, would you have to agree that the biggest things that everything you just said fall under those 3, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so important, those 3 vital behaviors. And if you're not doing one, it's out of balance. And most times with people, it's I'm not doing personal development. And I always say you can grind your way to emeralds or grind your way to diamond with people, but eventually you're not going to grow past whatever your work ethic is because you don't have the know-how, the means to grow yourself to help other people grow. So personal development's huge. So the last question I have is, what are you doing? Like, how are you expanding your network? So you're saying you had friends, or what do you feel that you're doing to expand the people that you're connected to? Because it's obvious, 29 points this month is unbelievable. So this didn't happen overnight. The law of attraction kicked in. You're obviously adding people frequently. What are some of the things that you're doing to expand your network?
Honestly, I tried Instagram for a while, but I started to feel overwhelmed with that and Facebook, and I don't know enough about it. That's definitely on my to-do list as far as, getting more training on that and or Twitter. Those are two things because I feel like I need to expand myself more.
But Michelle, not to interrupt you, but that alone I think says something, that you are building. People think, oh, I got to do Instagram, I got to do Twitter, I got to do YouTube. You have built yourself to Diamond and built yourself to everything basically off of one platform, Facebook.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
So I think it was in January, I felt like, I may have said it to Shanna, I'm going to run out of friends. Like, who am I going to invite? Like, I've invited everyone, I've followed up, and you get into those hills and those valleys and those funks where you're like, I have nobody else. So literally, I mean, for me, it honestly has been inviting. So sometimes I'll go on my friend list and then I'll click on the, who you may know. And honestly, I will look and I look at people, and then if I realize, because if I'm literally looking to invite people specifically for my challenge groups, because sometimes I add friends because I legit want to be friends with them. But if I'm looking to invite friends to then eventually reach out to, if I see that they're friends with another coach, I don't friend them. Because if I'm in the zone of I'm inviting you to form you and then to reach out to you, why am I going to do that when another coach is friends with them? I don't do that. So then I normally go into my friends list and I'll click on a friend and then I'll look through their friends. And like I said, I literally invite probably about approximately 4 friends a day. Sometimes I'll have people friend request me. A lot of the time now I'm having so many people who are like, oh, my friend, sees my results. Can she contact you? So it's definitely, by word of mouth as well. But my biggest thing is reaching out to people on my friend list. I mean, I still have, like I said, I started when I was a coach. I think I had 300 friends in October, maybe 200. Now I have 800. Every day it goes up. You have to also make sure, I know I learned this in Coach Basics, to go through your activity logger and delete the friend requests of people who don't accept them after like a few days. And then you don't want to overload and put too many friends on in one day because Facebook will block you. I think I got blocked once. Mm-hmm. So as of right now, that's my only venue. I mean, I did have a couple of people, reach out to me and ask questions because of my wear and share. I have to say that's definitely one of the things I'm a little bit, I definitely have to work on myself, how to, continue a conversation if someone, asks me, oh, what's P90X, or what's your Team Perseverance shirt? Like I was at Victoria's Secret the other day checking out, and one of the cashiers was like, oh, what's Team Perseverance? And I was talking to her a little bit, but I kind of got a little nervous. I should have just been like, are you on Facebook? Like, what? I have to get that oomph to do that, because that's why you wear the wear and share. So I have to work better on myself to do that and reach out that way. But
no, that's great. And something that I find that works that works great is if you do wear and share and people do ask you about it, guys, you don't need to, like, as I always say, like, vomit on them. I'm usually like, hey, I'm in a rush. If you give me your email address, I can send you some information. We do private online fitness challenge groups. And I usually always get it. When Kristen and I had our stuff on before we went to Mexico, and some girl stopped us from my T25 shirt I had on, and right there on the spot, I'm like, are you on Facebook? And she's like, yeah. And I said, and I put her name in, I friend requested, I said, I'll send you information tonight. We talked to her very quickly, and I went right into the 5-step process. Now, I followed up with her. Did I hear back from her yet? No. She said that she was very interested. She wanted to hear more about it. I didn't hear back. But the point being is that process, wear and share, got me exposure. I friended her right there on the spot. I don't give business cards out. That's something I don't do. For me personally, it may work for you because I think they end up in the bottom of a pocketbook and in the garbage. I always get the person's information. But guys, wear and share, like Michelle said, she had somebody come up to her. Don't think then you got to do everything right. Just get their information, then the ball's in your court, and then you can message them. So I think that's huge with expanding your network. And I think even bigger, Michelle, something that really stuck out. I think so many of us think that we got to be doing so many different social media platforms when we don't. So many coaches still just build off of Facebook. So with that, I want to open up. I'm going to unmute the lines to everybody and just speak up if you have a question. Or actually, I'm going to mute everybody. And you can mute yourselves. Unmute yourselves if you have a question. Anybody have a question for Michelle? Unmute your line if you do. There you go. There's Gina. Go ahead, Gina.
Michelle, how do you, can you just walk me through the process on how you get challengers into coaches? I know what we're supposed to literally do, but I'm not having success with that, especially this month. And I just thought if you could speak to that, that would help me.
Well, I will try my best. I have 18 coaches right now. 3 who are right now who are actively working the business. Some of the others are watchers. Some are just purely, discount. I mean, I have had people in my challenge groups who within the 3rd week ask, when's the next group starting? How do I get in? So at that point, I will send them the exact message from the coach page. And I say, well, this is something that I was going to talk to the entire group about in a week or so, but and I basically literally copy and paste that same message. Mm-hmm. I probably get the same responses, I always get, I should say, I'm still working on myself. I don't think I could support anybody else right now. I want to continue to work on my fitness before I could coach anybody else. Mm-hmm. I've actually had one of my coaches who's on this call say that to me. And basically, I'm continuing my journey. Everyone's continuing their journey. You're just doing it. And as you're working on yourself, you're helping others who are in your same situation. You're just giving them a little encouragement and letting them know that you could do it. If you're going to continue with the Shakeology, it's kind of a no-brainer to get the discount, and then you can be in the group to get the support that you need, give some other people some encouragement and support that you need in the beginning. What do you think? And then they usually come back and they say, I'm in, that's fine. And they'll watch for a while. I mean, I had someone who just said, like, this may be for me, this may not. And now she's getting into it now. So when I have a coach, I not only put them on the Coaches of Team Perseverance page, but I also have my own private Facebook group of my coaches. Some of them are working the business. Some of them are not. What I'm hoping, though, is because in that private group of my own coaches, my personally sponsored coaches, I put hey, I sold a challenge pack today, or, a motivational quote, or, hey guys, I put my, fitness quote on Facebook. What'd you guys do today? And some people are watching and they're like, hey, what's this all about? Like, what do you need to do? I have a coach who's like, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. And then she actually messaged me and was like, hey, I have a few friends who want to, get into the next group. What is it? What do I need to do? So I would, I'm sure, Gene, I think you probably already have, even if it's as 2-3 people in it, just put all your personally sponsored coaches in there and in hopes that they'll come around. That's an area that I realized at Summit that I need to work on. I need to build my personally sponsored coaches because I don't have a lot that are working. It's okay though. I mean, if that's what they want, that's what they want. But I have to make them see, how easy it is. It is easy. I mean, they can do it. Some are skeptical on what they really have to do, but that's something that I still need to work on too.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? Question? While I'm waiting, guys, there's something that Michelle just said. She has 18. She coaches 4 work in the business. It's the 80-20 rule that applies to everything, that 80% of your work is going to be done by 20% of your team or coaches. All right. Me, I personally sponsor. I think I have just over 60 coaches that I personally sponsor. I can tell you right now, it's a handful of coaches. That's it, that are really running with the business. There are tons of people I don't hear from. It shouldn't stop you. Okay. You keep sponsoring people. You keep helping people, and it will come around. Somebody posted, Michelle, a question. Where did it go? From Lisa, what was the book that changed it all for you that you spoke of?
John Maxwell, Today Matters.
John Maxwell, Today Matters, for Lisa.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Questions? Anybody? Just unmute yourself. Can't tell. Is that somebody's hand in the screen? Or Rosanna put her hand? Rosanna, you have a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, Michelle, how much time do you put in a day for your business? Right now, because right now my job is killing me. And I'm lucky if I can get an hour a day now. So what are you doing?
Fortunately for me, summer obviously is my easiest time, only because I'm not teaching. But that was, again, one of the hardest things to do during the year when I was teaching, and when I'm going to go back in September, obviously, to teach. I decided that my husband and Mike and I work out usually around 5:30 every morning, depending on which program we're doing. So I really would try to wake up an hour earlier, 45 minutes earlier, and get in what I could get in then. Friending is easy to do first thing in the morning. Commenting and liking in the morning from the previous night's, posts and things like that. Putting up my challenge group, because I always put a post from the challenge group guide in my challenge groups and things like that. So that's a time to get all that kind of stuff out of the way, is early morning for me. And then what I was doing is on lunch in school, checking in, if I could, checking in the afternoon, to see who was messaging or putting up posts and things like that. But during the school day, I have other things that I needed to do for school. And then I would get home at 4:00 and I'd go right on Facebook, and I wouldn't see my kids, all day. So I felt guilty about that. So what my husband and I worked on is the kids usually go to bed around 8:30. And I used to be cooped up in my office where my computer was, which is where I am right now. But I got a laptop, and I literally would sit out on the couch and do what I needed to do with the kids running around, and just so I could be with the family. And I would do like a half hour then, and then do like bedtime and hang out and play, and then get another hour from like 9 to 10, and then have some time with my husband from like 10 to 11. So honestly, like, it's 45 minutes in the morning. It's maybe like a half an hour right when I got home from work, and then it's another hour at night. That's what I did when I was working during the year. When, now I have a huge time in the morning because my kids are being lazy bones, which is great. So I do a lot of it in the morning, but I'm with them all day. So I don't feel as guilty if I need to get on the phone and on Facebook, because I am with them all day.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely is a balance. Like I said in the beginning, Mike was furious. He felt like I was literally attached to my phone and completely disengaged, and I was. But we needed to work out a system. I said, okay, you need to tell me, and sometimes he cooks dinner at night, and he's like, you know what, the kids are playing, go do some Beachbody stuff. So he's so much more open to it now because we schedule times. But I know it's hard, especially people who are working full-time and then have the kids to come home to. It is. You just have to, stick to your schedule. And just like you make time to work out, make time to work the business. Write it down. Say from 5:00 in the morning to 5:30, I'm going to do this and this and this every morning. And then I'm going to work out. And then I'm going to come home and I'm going to put dinner on. And while dinner's cooking, I'm going to play with the kids or do whatever. But then from, 5 to 5:30, I'm going to do this and this and this. Have it written down so you can hold yourself accountable, and you can make sure that you stick to and get in the habit of doing these specific things every single day.
Huge key points of huge. Go ahead, Rosanna. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
It's just huge key points, because I remember when I first started, it was the same way with Kristen and I, and like I told Michelle mentioned, you need to, if you have that phone and you're going 24/7, it's not going to work with your significant other, and it's not going to help you. You're just going to get stressed out. You need to work out your schedule, and you need to maybe sit down with your significant other or go out to dinner or on date night or one night after the kids go to bed and have a heart-to-heart with your spouse and look them in the eye and say, listen, I want to do this. I really think this could be something that can change our life. but I need you with me. We are a team, and I want to work the schedule out. And it may be, let's talk about a week in advance. It may be saying, all right, this week, these are the days we have kids' activities, or these are the days we have birthday parties, or I need you to pick up the kids doing this or that. And you map out all the priorities for you guys first as a family, and then you see what areas of the day are open in time, and then you'll both understand that at that time period, you're working your business. And once you get that relief and you sit down with your spouse, it's a huge, huge, huge relief, and then you'll have everybody on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Anybody else? Just unmute your line and speak up. No, Gina again. I'll mute you, Gina. Go ahead. Oh, I muted you back. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry to keep you guys, but quick question. Michelle, you mentioned that something turned around for you when you started branding yourself. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, I think that, so like I said in the beginning, I was letting everything consume me. I didn't know how to handle anything. I didn't have those conversations with Mike, and I failed Coach Basics the first time because I didn't finish. But in like January, I started reading that book that I felt, I went to Barnes & Noble and I was looking in the section where all the PD was. I was reading the backs of it, and I'm like, this one looks like, something that I need. I need to work on myself for this. So like I said, I started reading that on my own, and then I joined the Coach Basics for the second time, but I was ready for it because I had everything mapped out on when I was going to do what and things like that. And I started looking at different coach pages and what everybody was posting. And the biggest thing that I realized from all of this is you have to be real. You can tell when people are coming off, salesy. You have to be real, and you have to believe in what you're talking about. And I already, know and believe that the product works because I saw the turnaround with me. So as far as, posting and everything like that, I post about my kids all the time. I post, some motivational quotes and things like that. I usually do one fitness post a day, but sometimes it's two if I'm going to do like a healthy food tip or a workout tip, and then an invite or something about my challenge group. But I have to say the time that I get the most likes is when it's real stories or real testimonials, either about myself and the progress that I'm having, or, progress that my challengers are having. Just talk about things that you want to talk about. Sometimes I'll go through the entire day having like 3-4 likes on things, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. And then other days there's like 50, plus likes on things. It happens. And, you just have to be who you are and like just unique to yourself. And as, I think Shanna had mentioned it last week about the whole Facebook thing, because Maria had mentioned that she had heard it in Summit is, would you follow yourself on Facebook? Like, do you find yourself interesting? Well, just be you, and people they'll follow you. And you definitely have to just get uncomfortable and reach out to people, because like I said, some people I invite if they've liked a post of mine, hey, I noticed you liked my post. You interested in hearing, blah, blah, blah. Some people, I always follow the 5-step invitation guide, but I definitely put my own little flip on it to make it me. But I go through the steps, I invite, I ask the goals, I send the challenge. I always use the, have you ever felt like this video? If I find that it works, it's there. But I always use that. But I make it my own. I always, put my own story in there. If someone's asking me, how'd you lose all that weight? And I have it. And literally any kind of script that I write or send to someone, I have it saved on Word, and I also have it saved in my phone, so I can literally copy and paste. So Rosanna, that takes time away. Whereas normally I could spend however long retyping a message. Anything that I write, I have now new files that I copy and I can just copy and paste. So I don't have to rewrite the scripts and things like that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody? Just put your hand up to the screen. I'm trying to see everybody, or unmute your line and speak up. Nobody. No other questions? Everybody's going to be diamond next week. Going for it. All right. If there's no other questions, guys, going once, going twice. If there's no other questions, all right. I'm going to say, Michelle, thank you. You are one of the top leaders of the team. 29 points. I'm just blown away. I think every day you're posting, you're selling another challenge pack. It's amazeballs, as Sean T will say. Everybody have a great week. Tomorrow I'll do a short little video in the morning so the people that aren't there, get out at least 5 invites. Go to the Facebook event page for Wednesday night and invite at least 5 people. Just click on invite and maybe even some of your challengers that are in now may want to just jump on. I'm excited for it. Hopefully we get a good turnout. Otherwise, guys, have a great night. Thank you for all dialing in, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. Thank you, Michelle. Bye-bye.